but it's a rule that has been proven over time to say that sorry, I'm trying to turn this down.
Some kids in my class from last year, they woke up at 6:30 and started their schoolwork for e-learning.
Well, it's because I don't think you're doing any Zoom meetings today, right?
No.
So we have this side, side, side postulate, okay? And what the side, side, side postulate says, if the three sides of one triangle, that means this one, okay? If the three sides of one triangle are congruent to the three sides of the other triangle, meaning we have one tick mark, two tick marks, two tick marks, three tick marks, three tick marks, okay? Then the two triangles are congruent, okay? So what you can say is if you know all three sides are congruent, then you know the two triangles are congruent, okay? And that's kind of a given, okay? So when we think about it, if all three sides of my desks are the same, of this desk and this desk, then we can say that they are congruent desks. They are the same shape and size desks, okay? The other postulate says, and this is the hard one, okay? It's not hard, but it's just tricky. Is the side angle side, okay? And so you guys need to think about that. So it said side, side, side. It says side, angle, side, okay? And so what it says is if two sides of the triangle and the included angle, and that's the kicker. So the included angle says that you have to have a side and then the angle between the two sides. What, Trevor?
The protein qualities.
I know. So if we have a triangle, okay, and we're looking at these two, we could say that the side, see how this angle is in between the two sides that we're talking about? Okay, we can say that we got side, angle, side. Then we can say that those two triangles are congruent without knowing the other side or without knowing any other angles. Okay, and so there's the side, side, side postulate, and there's the side, angle, side postulate. Okay, and so the included angle is important. So if we were to look at this picture and we have this angle, okay, we have a side, and then we have a side, and then we have an angle. That is not the postulate. It has to sit in between those two sides. Does everybody understand that? Because otherwise you're going to screw it all up today. Okay? The angle has to be in between the two sides. So it has to say side, angle, side. If you were to trace your hand or your finger around the triangle, you should start off on a side, then hit the angle. You should see a marking there, and then hit another side. Okay? You can't do it this way because we would hit a side. There's no angle marked here, and there's no side marked here. So you can't, it has to be side, angle, side. And so what that says is that if you have a side and then an angle and a side on both triangles, then you can say those two triangles are congruent. Okay? So let's look at the sheet for today. It should say side, 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 angle, side. So there are only three options for answers for the sheet. Okay? Your option is going to be side, angle, side, or side, 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 or not enough information. Okay? So all of your answer choices are going to be the following. Okay? Side, 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 angle, side, or you could say not. I'm trying to think of somebody help me out. What's a quicker way to say not enough information?
Negative? Or
Ooh, what about this?
or a 0?
People say NA means not applicable. Okay? So like if you ever fill out a job application or something, not applicable. I can never say that. Okay? Means that
Applicable.
it doesn't apply to me. Okay, so like there's race boxes, right? And it says, are you white, Hispanic, black? If I'm none of those things, then it's not really applicable to me. Okay? Okay. So if we look at the first ones, it says determine if the two triangles are congruent. State how you know. Okay? On triangle one, or the two triangles, we have a side mark, and a side mark. So what postulate is that going to be?
Side, side, side.
Side, side, side. So we can put SSS. Okay, if we look at 3.
Oh, so we're going to number 3.
Okay, 3, we have 2 triangles. Okay, the 2 triangles. And you really got to think about what's happening with these triangles. I have this triangle. And I'm going to mark it kind of in blue here. Okay, and
It's
I
the
have
side angle
this
side.
triangle. Okay, we have a side on each of the triangles for sure. And we have an angle on each of the triangles for sure. Is there enough information there to say side, 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 angle, side, or not enough information? Why do you feel that? So, these ones, we have a side and we have an angle, okay? Are these the same side? Are these congruent? Are they the same length? They are. They're the same, they're sharing the same side. And so you can mark the 2 in between those to say, well, now we definitely know. Because they share the same side, they have to be the same length, okay? So it's side, angle, side.
Hey, Sammy, did you see where I put they share the same base? It's
Yep.
the same thing. They share the same side. So we know that that angle is, that side is also congruent. Okay.
Okay, and so we can just write SAS. That's side, angle, side. That's the shorthand way to say side, angle, side. Okay, if we look at 5.
Okay, skipping around again.
Okay, so we have an angle. These are congruent angles. This is congruent angle. The ones in the middle are vertical angles. And so what can you tell me about vertical angles?
Equal and opposite.
They're equal and opposite. And if they're equal, then this one's got to be 3. And by our third angle theorem, we could definitely say that that's 3. Okay? Because we got 1, 2, and 3. But is there enough information here for us to figure out what's going on with this picture? There's not, because we don't know if these sides are congruent. And we don't know if any of these sides are congruent. So I definitely can't use side, side, side. And I can't use side, angle, side. So we're going to write N/A. Okay, there's not enough information there. Okay, look at 7. Okay, 7, we have these 2 triangles. Okay, and we have 2 sides marked. Okay. So, what can we say about this triangle? Do we know all 3 sides? Or do we know one of the angles? Or... Okay, so for this one, we just did it up here. These share an angle. They share a vertex. So what can you tell me about the 2 middle angles?
They're congruent?
They are, but why? What kind of angles are these on the inside of here?
Vertical?
They're vertical, which means what?
Equal / opposite.
They're equal and opposite. So I can label these 2 and have 1. Okay? Which makes this then a side, angle, side. Okay? That angle has to fall between those 2 sides. So this one is going to be SAS. Okay, look at number 9. So number 9, we have 2 sides for sure of both of the triangles marked. Okay. What's this one going to be? Do we know a third side? Do we know an angle? Or is there not enough information?
Not applicable. Wait.
Same, but if you flip them and flip them, or flip and fold.
Okay. But if you couldn't flip and fold, because you can't technically flip and fold, how would you be able to tell if those are the same?
How the check marks one say no?
Okay, Hannah? It is, but why? They are, but why? Because you're getting it. You can see it.
Oh, I know it.
Okay, so if we have these two triangles, okay, I can mark this one. I got triangle 1, and it kind of sits on the bottom of that other triangle. Are these the same length, this side? Because that's the side we need if we were to do side angle side. How do you know?
They share the same base?
There's no gap between the edge, and they're sitting right on top of each other. Okay, and so it's fair to say that we know that these are the same length because we're looking at the same line segment. If I were to label these, the points on the end points, I could say, well, A, B, and C, and then this one is AC the same as CA?
Yes.
We've learned that from line segments, so we can say that this one is going to have 3 tick marks for sure. Okay, which is going to make this triangle a side, side, side. If they share a side and the triangles are put together somehow or some way, then they have to share a side. Okay, which means they have to be the same length. Okay, you guys are going to do all of the even ones today.
What is number 1?
Side, side, side. Okay, so you guys are going to do all of the even ones today, and